All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into Amazon Web Services, or AWS. We're going to break down this absolutely massive global network into some simple, digestible concepts. Look, everyone's talking about the cloud, right? And more specifically, everyone's talking about AWS. But we want to get past all those corporate buzzwords and really figure out what makes this platform tick.
To really grasp the sheer scale of AWS, just consider this one staggering fact. Almost 80% of Fortune 500 companies rely on it to host their infrastructure. 80%. We're not just talking about scrappy tech startups here. We're talking about the largest, most complex enterprises on the planet, entirely trusting Amazon to keep their digital doors open.
So, to get a handle on how they pulled this off, we're going to take a quick guided tour. We'll start with what AWS actually is, then explore why it absolutely dominates the market, walk through its core services, break down how the pricing works, and finally, look at its massive global scale and future trajectory.
Okay, let's jump into Section 1. What is AWS? Let's define the space and cut through the jargon.
At its core, AWS is a global cloud platform that lets you host and manage services on the internet. But, it's not just a single product. It provides multiple layers of services. First, you've got infrastructure as a service. Think of this like renting a vacant lot, where you build the house yourself. You get bare servers, so you literally never have to worry about managing physical power supplies or hardware backups again. Then there's platform as a service. That's more like renting a pre-built house. It gives you these ready-to-go environments for things like Java, Ruby, or PHP without you having to mess with the underlying binaries. On top of that, you get software as a service for immediate, out-of-the-box capabilities, like SES for sending emails or SQS for queuing tasks. And of course, you've got vast, super flexible storage options like EBS and S3. Basically, the whole shebang. AWS gives you every single building block you need to run any application entirely in the cloud.
Moving right along to Section 2, why AWS dominates. Because, let's face it, with every major tech company racing to the cloud, why does AWS remain the top pick for everyone?
Honestly, the biggest draw is just how incredibly easy it is to use. The barrier to entry is practically non-existent. You don't need to sign any massive, complicated enterprise agreements. You literally just follow a few steps. Sign up with an email ID, throw in a credit card, and boom, you're good to go. I mean, think about the old days when you'd have to wait weeks for physical hardware to get delivered. Now, you can go from 0 to 100 in maybe 2 minutes, launching huge machines without ever having to procure a single piece of metal. It's a total game changer.
And what really keeps companies sticking around is the highly transparent microbilling. AWS charges you by the hour for compute instances and by the gigabyte for storage. It is the ultimate pay-as-you-go dream. You only pay for exactly what you use, and it's all tracked on this really simple, integrated dashboard that lets you pull detailed reports every month based on whatever parameters you need.
But look, affordability and ease of use don't mean a thing if the system isn't reliable, right? And this perfectly illustrates why AWS is so trusted. Over the last 7 or 8 years, they've experienced only 3 or 4 major outages. That's it. And even when those happened, they were highly region-specific, meaning they only affected a single country or continent, and they lasted no more than maybe 2 or 3 hours. That level of bulletproof stability is exactly why everyone trusts Amazon.
All right, Section 3, Core Cloud Services. Let's dive into the technical heart of this explainer and translate some of those intimidating acronyms into plain English.
You can consider this your ultimate AWS cheat sheet. First up, EC2, or Elastic Compute Cloud. This is simply the service that gives you your bare servers, small or large machines to actually run your software on. Next is VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. See, Amazon doesn't just hand you the keys to their entire public cloud. VPC lets you carve out and completely secure your own private network chunks to run your servers safely. Then we've got S3, the simple storage service, which is basically your go-to for easily uploading, storing, and sharing files. And finally, there's RDS, the relational database service. This lets you easily run managed databases, supporting all the major flavors from SQL Server to Oracle, plus Amazon's own newly launched, highly performant Aurora database.
Rounding out that core toolkit, we have 3 critical services for keeping your apps online. Route 53 acts as a massive, globally scalable DNS service. You just point your DNS to Amazon, and they handle the rest. Then you have the Elastic Load Balancer, or ELB, which perfectly balances incoming web traffic across your multiple machines. But here's what's truly fascinating: how ELB works hand in hand with our last term, autoscaling.
Auto-scaling literally adds machine capacity on the fly. So together, they ensure that even if a massive surge of users hits your website all at once, your application scales up instantly and doesn't crash under the heavy load.
Let's move on to Section 4, how AWS pricing works. We're going to demystify the costs so you know exactly how you're paying for all these powerful tools.
So pricing in AWS is actually region-specific, which is a key detail a lot of people miss. Because Amazon has this massive foothold and their headquarters in places like Virginia and Oregon, those specific locations are actually the cheapest regions to run your services. So where you virtually place your servers has a very direct impact on your bottom line.
The really crucial part here is choosing your billing model. You don't just have to pay on demand. If you know you're going to need servers for a while, you can sign up for a 1 to 3 year term using reserved instances. That secures you massive discounts, anywhere from 20 to almost 60%. But on the total opposite end of the spectrum, you have spot resources. This is a super fascinating, really cheap bidding market. You basically bid for compute power at a fraction of the normal cost, which is perfect for ad hoc or non-critical tasks. The only catch? It's kind of like a cutthroat eBay auction. If someone outbids you, your machine is instantly terminated. Poof, gone.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, global scale and the future. To truly grasp AWS, we really need to zoom out and look at the physical scale of these data centers and where Amazon is taking this technology next.
Globally, AWS currently operates across 15 major regions. This spans across the US, Europe, and the Asia-Pacific, giving them a truly massive global footprint.
And to put that footprint into perspective, in today's world, practically anywhere you are standing right now, you are within 1,000 miles of an AWS region.
But these regions aren't just a couple of computers sitting in a closet somewhere. Each region contains multiple availability zones, which you can basically think of as massive data centers. And each one of those data centers houses anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 servers. I mean, the physical scale of this infrastructure is honestly almost hard to wrap your head around.
So what exactly is the future of AWS? Well, currently, they offer 64 distinct services spanning infrastructure, platforms, and software, but they are launching new services based on demand almost every single day. Right now, they're focusing heavily on machine learning, having just launched exclusive services specifically for that field. They're also prioritizing managed software as a service, which basically means they want you to just upload your brilliant ideas and let them handle all the boring back-end plumbing. And perhaps the best part for the consumer? They are continuously leveraging their massive scale to systematically drop costs, passing those savings directly down to you.
We've covered a ton of ground today, all the way from the basic building blocks up to the massive 500,000 server data centers that power the internet as we know it. So I'm going to leave you with this thought to ponder. As the barrier to entry entirely vanishes, as capabilities skyrocket, and as AWS leverages its infinite scale to automate machine learning and just continuously drive down costs, how will this cloud dominance reshape the future of your own industry tomorrow? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the technology that runs our world.